All right, we're gonna go over some fundamentals. We'll look at like the finances and stuff for companies. Um, let me get off video. No, but huh? Oh, you come to the camera.
No. Oh no, I thought you were still recording. Okay.
Oh, I am recording. Yeah.
Oh.
Hold on, let me pause it. Okay. So what I want to do is go over some more fundamentals with y'all guys. Everybody like the videos. I like to appreciate that. Um, Make me feel that gushy stuff, that whatever, man, whatever. All right, so but let's continue. So when I was coming, so I'll put it on filtering for like for stocks that are like about income and growth. So these are growth value stocks. So I came here and I started looking at other criteria like let me see some basic facts, okay, financials, financial materials, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So then I go to like performance, um, just check that out for a bit. Then I could probably go into like, okay, who do I see got a lot of institutional ownership? And then when I come off rip, this real estate company, but don't think I didn't see this one. So I'm like, oh, okay, Carnival Corporations. What was this again? Consumer discretionary. Okay, hotel, restaurants, and leisure. Interesting. Okay. Hmm. So I go. Let me go. Let's go click on this company. So we come here. We come to the snapshot page. Let me check what the 5 year is looking like. So it was a bit on a downtrend. You could see it right there. It was a bit on the downtrend. Um, Even before COVID, but it looked like right before COVID it was on an uptrend though. If we were to just take that to like year to date, okay, so it was a little bit higher, but it was coming down a little bit. So, but hmm, that's weird. Where's our earnings per share? I don't know why that's not there. Um, it's looking really weird. This company's looking. Hmm. Let's see what the finances say. Okay. Okay. So when we come to the financial statements, we see balance sheet, income sheet, and cash flow. And so, in my opinion, I tend to look at it like the balance sheet is like your physical checkup, right? It's like you going for your annual checkup, and this is what the doctor says about you from a physical aspect. So in this case, just it's the finances in this case. So this company we're checking out. This is the physical checkup, the financial checkup of this stock. And your income statement is like your air, right? It's like it's recording the air flowing into you, and then you create enough oxygen to function and to just like function as a company, right? And then your cash flow is like the blood of the company, and this is basically, um, so like baby, so like also income statement is like for a certain period, so it's checking how it's been doing, how your oxygen flow as a company been for a certain amount of period, for a certain time period, and then the cash flow was like the blood flow flowing into you but the blood flow is like, in this sense, you got enough air to function. So now you got like just cash flowing in. So think of like your blood is flowing in through your body, just circulating through your body. So the blood is actually functioning. And so like now you can actually use the cash flow of your business to do some things. You could do investments into you. You can start doing some more things. So that's how I would say I would think about it when I look at the balance sheet, income statement, and the cash flow. Um, and the first one we have here, you can do it by annual or quarterly. So if we was to look at it from a quarterly period, what was the balance sheet of these companies, for the last several quarters, we can see here that this company has tremendously grew its assets. I will look at, and then I would like Google that to see like what's kind of changed to find out like how did they go from like 2.8 billion in the beginning of the year to 8.2 billion in here. And it's interesting because this is a consumer discretionary business. So I think it was hotel and leisure. So that's interesting. So that's dope. And we see here non-current assets. So this is like stuff that they can't really sell, or it's like it's part of the business, but they can't sell it. I believe. I think that's what it's like, intangible assets, and then like the building, the plant, or something, or like the equipment. How much those would cost if they were to sell it, um, and then non-current assets. Not really. I can't remember what that one actually is. So, but as we see here, the total assets. Um, so they got a lot of cash, and so a lot of cash came in. Received a lot more money from this quarter to this quarter. See here, that was a major difference. They got rid of some of their inventory, other assets. So we can see that's like was a major contribution to the major surplus of assets for this company. Your liabilities. So, just to mention too. So like it's confusing sometimes, but it's like so. Um, you add everything here, and then for this one, you will add everything here. But anything that's like negative would be like a positive thing in this case. Um, so total assets is 50 billion, is worth $50 billion, $50.8 billion. Liabilities here is like current, and these, so you have debt, and some these are the ones that are like are due pretty soon. I think like within a year, and then long term liabilities is things that are just long term that you are on a fixed payment for, anything like that. And so we see here that their liabilities has increased tremendously. So if you think about what I just said earlier, huh, so their liabilities has increased, um, along with their assets increase, and everything left is the net income, which is sometimes called the shareholders' equity total. So we see here that their net income has gone down in a sense, and the liabilities and shareholders' equity total is like just the combine of it, right? Um, but so this is what we consider the net income of the company, the net worth of the company. I mean, and this also shows you how many shares they have outstanding. So we see here they had a lot more shares. They they were decreasing their shares, and then they increased it tremendously. So they started offering a lot more shares, or people sold off a lot more shares. Like one of the two. So now we go to income statement. So an income statement, you kind of want to see this top area. You want to see increase by. Actually, let's look up from the quarter to quarter. We want to see an increase by quarter to quarter. So we see here they had sales, this year, this last these last several quarters, they started being a bad term for them, which makes sense with COVID. Um, Cost of goods sold. So this is like the cost of how much it costs to operate. Um, so they decreased their cost of goods. I see as well. Um, but that also probably has effect on their sales. But I mean, they probably had no choice to with anything too. So it's something to just keep that in the back of your head. Gross profit. So they are at a loss because it costs them more to operate than their sales. Um, so this tells us that they're at a loss. So then we see depreciation. So these are like stuff that has depreciated um, as well. So you actually add these two lines to get operating income after depreciation. So this is after what has depreciated, what's the income that's left, and then we see here other income or an expense related to the operating income after depreciation. Um, so these are like just maybe like one-time costs for something or something just in general. Um, and so we see here that they were in the money back a few quarters ago, but ever since the end of um, quarter ending in October 30th, they are at a loss. Um, Unfortunately, I mean, not October, February 29th. Um, so they've been losing money, taking a loss, but like they were able to reduce it this quarter, this last quarter a bit, because it was 4.3 billion. Now it's like 2.8 billion. So that's pretty. That's just something to keep note of. Um, so then any other extraordinary items, and then that would be like added to it or anything, or subtracted from it. Um, and this goes all the way down to net income. So their net income now is they were profitable. Same thing we see here. So this is how we get like the earnings per share and the shares from operations. So then we come to cash flow. We go quarterly. All right, five blown up. Uh, Sorry. So now we go to the cash flow. So this is like when people are about to start doing investment activities and just getting stuff done to get the business to progress. That's how I think about it. Making acquisitions, anything of that nature. Because your income statement would be like stuff that's going on instantly, like just instantly. Cash flow can be including all of that entire thing plus more activities that can take years to progress or months, anything like that. So income before extraordinary items. Um, so we see that they started at a loss, as we saw from the income statement. Um, Anything that depreciated or amortized, so they got some bread from that. Um, got some bread from that. Selling some stuff, looks like. And then they made some changes that cost them some money. So that added to the more net cash flow. So now they have $4.6 billion of net income. So they owe that to them. So um, investment activities. So this would be, I believe, a negative. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's negative. So this is stuff that they are investing in, um, and anything that would be that they made money from it would be negative. So this we see here that it cost them about 1.4 billion um, for investments and other activity that they want to finance. So like this is like maybe sale of a stock. So they got 766 billion. I mean million from that um, dividends, cash, and then this is what they end up with as far as finance, and then they get a increase of cash flow by what they finance through all the or trying to accumulate more money. They ended with a positive, so they got some more cash flowing, an increase of like 7.6 billion of cash flow, and so that's what they've been doing like the last quarters. It looked like it's offering shares. So they were buying back shares and then they started selling them off a lot more shares. Yep. And so let's look at. I want to look at a few more things. So we went over the fundamentals, like the finances. So now I would like look here for research reports. Um, see what see what they see what if there are any available and see what they say about it. So this neutral. And then like when you read some interesting stuff that you think should that you want to know, like you might want to know like the cash flow from operations was like a negative 3.58 billion, which exceeds their net income of like negative 7.58 billion. Um, that would tell you that okay, you should if you want to note that, then put that in your notes. Just like you just want to note that down. Um, mm, so just keep in mind this ESG is starting to become very important to investors. So sometimes good to look at this, see what they stand with the um and rank into this for the like environmental, social, and governance. Also like social sentiment too. I believe it's supposed to say like what is the feedback from social media regarding the stock. Um, look back at the ownership, it's pretty neutral. There's been a large number of institutions coming in the previous 2 quarters. So that's a pretty interesting sign. Um, look up any news you can see about the company. Like check out the news, see maybe how it might like um, give you a better opinion of the company. See if any SEC filings with the company. So we see here they sold some shares. So one thing to keep in mind too, I believe when it comes to these forms, these are kind of like acquired or disposed of, but like these some a lot of this is like just these executive decisions. Like this is just like things they do periodically. So it's only really, I believe, a good indicator of something happens if it's a P or S symbol. Then that's a different story. That's not what I was going to see. Mm. So this is the change in beneficial ownership. So basically saying this um, person want to add somebody into their trust. It looks like. And it's like, why are you doing all of this? I mean, I would have like a spreadsheet up and um, take notes in the comments and just keep keep notes, copy and paste it. Just keep it simple for yourself or write it down. Just so if you really like the stock and you just want to make sure you have information about it and keep track of stuff with it. Like maybe write down ownership, write like how much they lost. Look at the key statistics and maybe look and see like what's their price to book ratio. Oh, that's pretty good. That's really good. Their price to sales, they're pretty lower than the industry in a lot of these. That's really good. That's not that good, of course, but we understand what happened. They're losing money because of COVID. Um, their growth, so they had a bad revenue, of course. We seen that in the finances earlier. You see that they were getting a lot of cash flow before everything. But just sucks that now they're not. Oh, actually, I just realized something. I was like, I think I misspoke. I think I spoke. So when you look at the cash flow, um, yeah. So this is actually negative. This is where okay. Um, says negative 7.6. I need to clarify the next one. But so it looks like you want this to be in parentheses. Good cash flow. But since you just want these, you want to see an increase in these numbers as far as percentage wise to make sure that you're seeing growth in the company. Um, and it's really good if you can like see what their percentage is because that will also give you a good indicator too. Like if the growth is like by a certain percent, that's really good. So like if you see 20% or more, that's pretty good. Um, and I believe that's it for this one. Hope this helps a lot of y'all. Again, you just are trying to screen for stocks infidelity. You can do it by certain filters. Create a different search criteria. In general, create your own. Actually, let me look for. Do maybe you just only want to look at IT. What's the last quarters? But they beat the ones before that. Interesting. So if you read that SMH, um, this was like. All right. So in the here, just looking if you have any questions. If you need anything, I can help you clarify. If I can, I'll definitely help. Hope this was helpful. Appreciate y'all watching this.